TempahZone. How's it going, everybody? Wherever you listen to this podcast right here, audio quality sound better? Yeah, I know, it ain't on Zoom, because it's episode 98 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. And ladies and gentlemen, my special guest on the show today is a really, really talented singer. Now, she might have one song on all streaming platforms, but that don't matter. She got plenty of stuff on the way, all right? Moves her own way with this game, and I like that too because I think it's definitely something y'all could take note of. I got Nessa on the platform today. Nessa, how's it going?
It's going really good. How are you? I'm good. You know, it's been a busy day today, so you know I'm just coming off of work before I came here. So me too. Yep, you showed up perfect time.
Yeah. I was, I was like, we had to make it happen. So, we had this plan a long time. How's just everything been so far during this pandemic that's looking like it's ending? How have you been able to just cope with everything and just stay occupied during all this?
So actually, ever since the pandemic started, I've been actually more focused on music. That's when I started writing my first song. So I'm actually kind of thankful for it, even though that's not what a lot of people would say. A lot of benefits have came out of it, musically wise, and networking and the connections and everything really came to me a lot quicker than normal because everyone's trying to find something to do, and you meet more people because more people are out. But other than that, I guess the whole staying in sucked, but yeah, a lot more social media, a lot more music out there.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing I really been down about this whole thing is just not going out a lot. Yeah, I haven't been on a plane in a bit. I ain't gonna front. I mean, have you been doing any vacations so far though?
No, so I'm actually going to Miami April 16th, so it's gonna be this month.
Okay,
it's my first vacation since before COVID.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I feel like everybody's heading down there.
Yeah, I know.
You see all the Snapchats, everybody just partying up down there.
Yeah, people are moving down there now. It's just okay, bye.
Yeah, they moving down there. The houses are getting more money because they see everybody moving down there and stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
It's slowly becoming a spot. I definitely gotta make a trip out there soon. But I'll figure that out eventually. But you mentioned pandemic, and I really like that track. It's a really, really dope one. Just what made you decide that you were gonna make a song named Pandemic? What made you want to follow through with that?
So actually, I was just dealing with a lot during the pandemic, with my ex and with just staying inside, and just a lot of things kind of build up, and I just started writing about it, and I just listened to this beat and the lyrics just came to me because I was just feeling so many things, and I just sort of just started writing, and it was really how I was feeling in the moment. So that kind of made the song what it was, and that's why I'm kind of thankful for the pandemic.
Yeah, no, it's like that silver lining, it's just it just all kind of just ended up a certain way, and I think a lot of times it's always good when a song is like that, where you just you're not really thinking about it, kind of just bam, just pops up out of nowhere. So I think that's really dope. But you have one song that's out, but I really you can tell on that track you got a lot of just history in general and just experience with it. You can just tell. So just talk about just what got you into music, your beginnings with it, wherever you would want to start it out.
So I would say when I was 4, I was obsessed with Britney Spears. She really she was my idol growing up, and then since then I was doing recitals and I was covering Britney Spears songs and the Cheetah Girls, and I was just doing all these little recitals, and then I stopped because I was moving so much, so I didn't really have the time to go to singing lessons and go to do recitals and everything.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing the recitals, I guess, when I was 8 or 9, and I just started singing from there all the time ever since then.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone to singing lessons or anything since I was really, really young, but I was always singing, in the shower for fun with my mom. And yeah, but I haven't performed since I was maybe 7. I think that was the last time I performed.
Wow.
Until recently, when I started getting back into it.
Yeah, no, but that's dope. Wow, so it really started from just a a while back, you know, it was just kind of just always there. And just did you ever do like singing lessons and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did singing lessons when I was from 4 to like 8. I did it for like 4 years.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So, and then I stopped, but like I was always singing, you know? So I guess I got better as I kept singing just for fun. Like the more you do it, the more better you get.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I feel like I know so many musicians who are self-taught and just teach themselves everything. Do you think that like without those lessons you would have gotten to where you needed to be vocally, or do you think you would have found your way there without the lessons? If given another timeline, what would you say?
I think I always could have sang. Like I always could sing. I think it just made it a little bit better. Just better, like by having those singing lessons, because you learn how to breathe. You learn certain techniques that you wouldn't really learn on your own.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think it was really helpful going to that.
Would you do singing lessons now? Like if it was there and you had the time available, would you take more singing lessons?
I would, yeah. But you know, something that just costs money now. So
yeah. Barring that, yeah, it's like like the money part about that, yeah, it can definitely be a good amount of money. And the only reason why I ask is I feel like when people tend to already be good at something, they might feel like they don't have any room to learn anymore. But it's like
I feel like there's always room for growth.
Exactly. I feel like, there's always, you can always add more armor to whatever you got going on. And so, I definitely, I feel like with singing, people more so see that. But, like, when it comes to, like, rapping, I don't feel like people like, oh, I could get better with my bars, It's a different thing with the genres, I guess. But, I definitely. It
does depend.
Yeah, but I definitely think, there's always more room to learn. There's always more, something to add on to whatever you got going on, no matter how far you are in the game. So definitely. Let's talk about something that I just feel like is, I definitely want to ask you, because you're actually a, real singer, a vocalist. And, I feel like, I'm not too big on them. I don't watch them as much as I used to. But like shows like American Idol, like America's Got Talent and stuff like that. Like I feel like those shows, I feel like they mattered a lot more back then, but nowadays with the internet the way it is, it's like, do people really need those shows? But I'll just, ask you, would you ever do like an American Idol, like an America's Got Talent, or like X Factor? Would you ever go on a show like that?
Yeah, so I actually did try out for American Idol a few years ago, and the experience was crazy. There was so many people, and it's way different than what I expected. You have to go through a bunch of pre-judges and everything, and
man.
Yeah.
So before you get to like the real judges, you got to go through.
Yeah.
Wow, damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're like people in the music industry, I think, but they're not like well-known people. They're just people that know like if people can sing or not, or add certain value, or they pick. I guess they pick certain things about a person, which is what I noticed.
Wow.
Yeah, you can sing so good, and if you don't really have like an interesting story, they won't pick you, because there was so many amazing singers like that I've heard there that were performing, and they didn't get picked at all. They picked the least. I'm not gonna say like least talented, but like
they picked the easy song.
I could tell like they picked the girl that had the big huge backstory like of her sad life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's like more of what they're looking for, like more of like entertainment and something else, not just the voice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just don't, I think those shows still have a place, and I think, get it how you can. I just feel like it's not like the end all be all, you know what I mean? Like it used to be. Like I remember when American Idol, like, I remember being a kid when American Idol first dropped. Like, those first 4, 5, 6 seasons just felt like so, like, necessary. You know what I mean? And then, like, just the way the music game changed up, I just feel like doesn't have, like, that same sting to it. But like I said, get it how you can. Like, if you can finesse it, you can. But that's... Yeah. I didn't know they were, manipulating it like that. But that don't surprise me because, TV,
Yeah, that's how it can be. But it is very entertaining. I used to watch it all the time. That's why I was like, I might as well just try out. And it was a fun experience. I met a lot of people. So it was definitely worth it. I would do it again.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not knocking it at all. I just, just a critique, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Like,
Rhythm and Flow, one of the things I thought was so crazy about that show, and I remember watching, I'm like, I'm surprised there's no, melody rappers on the show. And one thing I heard about the show is that no one can rap like Drake. You can't rap like Drake on this show. You have to be a rapper. And I was like, wow, like, okay, that makes sense. So, it's like all those little things that you hear, like what you said with American Idol, with, how they, there's a certain vetting process. Like those shows gotta, they have to be, they're the entertainment. They gotta please, a certain crowd and be, have a certain theme to it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I don't think it's any, surprise by that. But yeah, like I said, y'all, I ain't knocking anybody who does it, talent shows and what like that. But those are definitely some things to be mindful of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's definitely something very important to bring up, though. But I definitely want to ask you though, what were some skills that you learned, specifically that you could call out that got you better with just being a vocalist overall, just being better at it? Is there anything that kind of helped you along the way?
I mean, I guess like covering songs, singing full songs.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Keep practicing that note that you can't hit in the song. Just like keep doing it over and over. I guess I would say practice makes perfect, but not everybody's perfect. But it makes you a lot better each time that you practice something.
Do you ever feel like you sing a song better solely because you like it more, even though it's like maybe harder to sing?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I'll be feeling that way sometimes. I'll be like, yo, like, because I need the studio to sing right. So when I'll be singing some shit right, I'll be like, oh, I feel like it's just because I like that song more. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Yep, that's me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. Like, yo, I'll be feeling this shit. I'm gonna hit that note. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, so that's dope. Who are some artists that you've been kind of listening to recently that been kind of giving you more influence and stuff?
Well, I haven't been listening to too many like singers. I've been listening to a lot of like rap and hip hop lately.
Okay, yeah.
But also I've started to get into the genre of house. So I've been listening to that a lot more, and I've been really getting into it a lot more, and I'm actually going to start working on like a house pop type beat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hell
so,
yeah.
so that's like a little singy, I guess.
Nah, for sure. I think that house vibe is completely like the way to go. Like I think like if you can make it happen, I definitely think you could do it. And I mean, considering what I've heard by you, like I could totally see you fitting over like the EDM beat and just
that's what I want to try. I want to try it out.
Yeah, and there's
a new route.
So many EDM artists are looking for like female vocalists. I feel
exactly.
Like I feel like that's like definitely like like so many of my favorite EDM songs that female singers on it. Like I can barely think of male singers on EDM songs that I really be listening to. So yeah. There's definitely a good pocket for that. I'll definitely stay tuned for that. Want to ask you something a little different here. Now, just in the music game, it can be a little tricky. It can be a little tough. Not everything so comes easy all the time. So what would you say are some struggles, some hardships in this music game that you'd say you've faced so far as you've been doing it?
I'd say when people, like, I guess, would try to, like, take advantage of you, like, they would charge, like, way too much or ask for way too much to even just, like, perform. Yeah, like, the whole pay to play, that whole thing, like, that's ridiculous, I think, in some cases, because some people just ask for way too much money just to perform somewhere. And, like, you could be, like, the worst artist or something, and as long as they're getting the money to perform, you can perform, like, doesn't matter. So I feel like that, in that case, it's a struggle, and I think not having a lot of time and money to make music and do things, like, that you love to do because it costs money, that's, like, another struggle, too, that I would face. Yeah,
just, putting out music ain't free.
Yeah.
It's not free. There's a whole step to just putting everything out and having the resources and making sure the song's high quality, and then on top of that you using the right distributor to put it out there. I mean, there's a whole step to that thing, and it all costs money. And I just say that for anyone listening, like this shit is not free. Like everything costs money with
it's crazy.
The music game. And I think people just gotta be notice of that. And another thing too, I mean, I think is biggest you said is the being taken advantage of in this game. I mean, there are so many promoters out here who are just ready to find, hungry artists and just snatch all their money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they could say, like, just give me 300 and I'll do promo for you, and then they'll get, like, the fake streams, not real streams. Like, you don't know who to trust these days. Like, So yeah, I agree with that.
Because there's ways to do it organically, and then there's ways to do it inorganically. And those people who do it inorganically, you may never really know how they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do because they make sure they do a good job with you not knowing. And, you know, I think there's just so many ways to get to for people to play with you in this. And it's hard, you know, because people want to promote themselves. They want to market correctly, but there's just plenty of places, you know, that be messing with people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just sad.
It's like a scam.
Yeah, it's just straight scamming. I mean, that's just, there's no other way to put it. But I think the big part is the shows. You know, people scamming for the shows. It's just like, you know, you get to open up for this person, but you got you know, $900, you got $1,000 to you know, pay for the tickets, and then you gotta sell it back, and if you don't, you're down. You know, like, that's a whole thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've been through that a lot, but 1,000 is a lot.
Yeah,
people are actually charging that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been asked big money before for a show. Like, oh, you get to open up for, you know, big name artists. So I was like, okay, cool. What are the details? Because I was like, I know I'm gonna have to pay something. And I was like, what's good? You know, and they told me the details. I think it was like $800.
Wow.
Yeah, $800. Yeah.
But if you sold the tickets, you would make the money back.
Yeah, I would have, you know, broke even. But, like, I mean, I think it was like a Tuesday night.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like, I sell it 40 tickets on a Tuesday night. That's tough. I mean, I'd have to really do some smart marketing and promotion and, you know, do my thing if I wanted to pull it off. But, like, that's, you know, on a Tuesday night, like, that's pretty difficult. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you never know who's gonna show up, how many people are even gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. And then the people you hit up, you know, 2 weeks before, and then last minute they're like, oh, I can't make it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like classic. You know, venue stuff. You know, with people, you know, you get shows together, like, I'll come through, and then a month later, they're just like, oh, actually, like,
oh my god, yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, that selling tickets is totally a grind. You know what I mean? You gotta really find a way to you know, finesse it and sell it right. So, but, you know, if you can get good at it, you can get good at it. So you know, if you have the game down, definitely make it happen. So
yeah. I would.
Oh yeah, no,
I could.
It's you know, and if I, you know, I'm happy you're honest about it, because I think there's just so many artists who just don't accept that, like, they can't sell that many tickets. It's not that, you know, it's not a knock on your career, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, big name artists can't sell as much as you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the way it goes. Like, Chance the Rapper, like, had to, like, cancel a whole, you know, tour because they thought he could do stadiums. He couldn't do stadiums. They had to, you know, shrink it down. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, there's so many cases of artists who, you know, think that they can sell out these venues and they don't, and then they got to just cancel the whole thing because it's like, oh, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be looked at as like this artist who can't sell out, you know, this venue. I'm performing here now. It's like, you know, so just, you know, just little things like that. But there's always a way around it. You know what I mean? There's definitely always a way around it. You just gotta, you know, game plan it correctly, you know what I mean? So
yeah, or you have to pay more money for someone to help market.
yeah. Sad but true.
You're not really making your money back at that point.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. I didn't even think about that, but no, you're definitely right. Like, I mean, like, you know, and that's why, you know, if you look at a lot of, you know, artists, if you look at the things that they did before, like, there's a lot of money that went to a lot of these artists. You know what I mean? Like, I always find the funny, oh, they blew up overnight. It's like, you know, once you start looking back through, you know, you'll see, like, oh, they worked with this promotion agency, and this promotion agency is, you know, signed to Warner Music. You know, like, it's, you know, there's a whole, you know, thing about that. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it is what it is, though. Speaking of, you know, we talked about the, you know, performances and stuff like that. When is the last time you hit the stage, though? When's the last time you did a performance? Because obviously, you know, we can't really do anything right now still. But when was the last time you hit the stage? What was that like?
So after the first time when I was like 7, the second time after that was in January of 2019.
Oh, okay. So
that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. I think I remember. I remember you.
That was at that
mentioned
Mix
to me.
360 thing.
Yeah. That's cool. What was that experience like? Because I mean, like, you know, from that gap from the last time you performed until then, like, what was that? Were you yeah, those nerves? What was that?
Oh
like?
my gosh! So that was like 15-year gap. Like,
Oh my God.
It was
Yeah.
like a huge gap of time not performing on stage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that I was so nervous, and like I feel like I couldn't even hear myself that well because my vocal was lower than the beat, and like
Oh damn.
I was like freaking out on stage, but everyone I feel like could tell. Like I was kind of like, oh my God, like I was nervous. Like I feel like you could tell, like because I was even like scared myself. I was like, I can't really hear myself. Like I feel like I'm gonna suck like when I hear it back.
Yeah.
But I mean, I tried to make it fun. I tried to have fun with it, and I had everyone there that supported me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good experience. But for next time, I was like, I need to make sure the sound check is like going through. Like I need to make sure it's like the same way that when I first started it, you know? So yeah, but I mean, I did it. I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
And I'd say I would keep doing it again because I think the practice makes it, less nervous. You get more, like what to do for next time. So I definitely just started actually to perform again on stage like recently within the past like 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was like, so a whole nother year passed. Or 2 years. A whole 2 years passed.
2020 doesn't count so much.
Yeah, 2020
Yeah, right?
doesn't count.
Yeah, you skip.
But yeah, so a whole 2 years passed, and then I got asked to perform at the showcase that they do in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And that is like once a month type of showcase where you have to pay to play, but it's only $150.
Yeah, that's
and it's not. It wasn't that much compared to like what other people ask for. Like.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was probably more worth it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely a good experience. I did it once, and I did it in March, so that was a good experience. I learned from the first time. So like I had like the sound check and everything. Like everything was set, and I performed so much better, and I performed a much better. Mood. Like I wasn't so nervous.
Yeah. No, I mean, when it comes to that live performing, like that repetition is so insane. Like you gotta definitely, because like all those little things you said, like I mean, probably people didn't notice, but you feeling nervous on stage, like that's one of those things where it's like.
I think I heard someone in the audience say, "She looks nervous."
Oh no!
I'm like, oh my God! Like while I was on stage, I'm like, oh my God, I totally look nervous. Like.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things when you perform live, you can see how everyone feels. Like you know if people are vibing with you. You know if people are with it. You will know if you're doing good. You'll know if you're doing bad. Like on stage, the people do not lie. Like they'll show it on their face how they feel about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what kind of stinks though, because when you're performing on stage and you're performing a song that's like sad or like about something depressing, you're not trying. Like the audience isn't gonna be like, yeah, pandemic. Like no, it's about something sad. So like it's hard to kind of tell like if the audience is really vibing or not. Like, I don't, know, because like it's like a deep song. It's like a dark song.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you like when. Like, whenever I do a sad song, if I'm performing, I just gotta warn the crowd before. And, I just get ease into it. Because I know, I've always feel like performing live, you want to give the people something, like, energetic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, at least, in the venues I've been, going to. So I'll always, put first my more hype stuff. But there's always gonna be, the crowds who want more chill stuff and the more, sadder tones and all that stuff. I mean, it all depends, you know what I'm saying? And I think, you just just how you transition them to it, and how you, just go about it with that. But yeah, those when you perform on stage, you just gotta block out just block out everything. You know what I mean? Like that's just one of those things, you know what I mean? And you just can't get distracted, like when you heard that girl say, I think she looks nervous.
Yeah, it like made me nervous, even more nervous. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the past month, I feel like that last time I did it, most recent, I feel like I killed it compared to like the 2 years before that.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's really dope, and I think And I think there's always just gonna be, more and more room for improvement. Just, just once, if we can finally get more shows out here, you know what I mean? So I think,
I think isn't there the event space is opening back up here or no? Aren't they opening back up soon?
I think they can have a certain amount of people in, but I think some venues might be just waiting just a little bit more, just to like have a little bit more people. Yeah. I think like the big venues, like I know like the Celtics, like they're letting a few people in at TD and stuff like that. But I think like smaller smaller places, probably will be needing a little bit more time before they,
Yeah, because then they could lose money if they don't get the attraction that they need.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's I definitely think in time I not only do I miss performing at shows, I miss going to shows. Like I miss live concerts so much. You know what I mean? Is there any festivals or any like artists you have in mind that you would want to go to when stuff opens back up? I got a bucket list of places I'm trying to do. You know what I mean?
I do want to go to, one of those like EDM festivals.
Yeah, go to Izu.
Yeah, that's like one of those. Like that's I've never gone to one before, so like that's what I've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Or I want to see Christina Aguilera live so bad, but I don't know if.
Yeah, whenever she decides to do a tour again. Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
I think she did it like not too long ago. Like she does it once in a while.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Very once in a while.
She's so cemented that like if she wants to announce a tour, she can announce a tour whenever she wants. People are gonna show up for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's so good.
She's one of those artists that I feel like she ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like she's cemented in history. I feel like people have been making fun of her recently though. Like they'll make they'll make fun of her like people being mean like her, like how she like will over sing, like over hit notes and stuff. Like
my god, how is that even a thing? Yeah, like, can you over sing?
People find a way to critique her for that. I feel like it's just like come on.
There's always critique.
Yeah. How's she over singing? You know what I mean? Like it's like I was like.
She just has a beautiful voice, and she can hit the notes, so she's showing everybody what she got.
Exactly, yeah. She can hit all those notes. It's just like, like if she can do it, she can do it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I never understood that stuff, but I ain't making it up. People, there's something recently. I think it was like Christmas or something like that. But yeah,
I didn't know that. It's so funny.
People being stupid on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. Let's talk about a song that you got coming up and whatever you want to disclose on it. You have a song called Needed You, dropping soon. I don't know when you plan on releasing it, but I know you got it in the tuck. Talk about that one, just how you came about that one and just your plans with it.
Okay, yeah. So I was actually at my mom's house when I wrote this song. And funny enough, I wrote 2 songs at my mom's house, and I wrote none here yet. I don't know what it is about being at my mom's house, but I feel like I write better.
Yeah, no, it'd be like that. I can see it.
Yeah, so I wrote Needed You like 3 months ago maybe. Mm-hmm. And my friend, he's a DJ. Yeah. He's really good friends with Rosewood Bape, and he helped me get a feature from him. And so he hopped on the song.
Let me just say that. I checked this shit out. He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. Mm-hmm. He's doing really good for himself. And he made the song. He killed it. Like, the song sounds so good.
No, I bet. I'm excited to hear what he did over it, because considering the other stuff he probably was like, you probably bodied it. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was good, and I'm really glad for when it's going to release. I think it's going to release. I didn't upload it yet, but I'm planning to release it at the end of April, the very last day, like April 30th.
All right.
Or May 1st, like around like very like that time. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, because I think this one right here it's definitely a sound that I think you fit very, very well on. So I think, the people are going to really like this. And I feel like just the snippet you shared, I feel like the people were like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? It seemed like you got the people reeled in on it. So I definitely think this is one you should definitely push heavy. It's just, it's definitely, a good vibe. You know what I mean?
Me too. I'd say this is one of the best ones so far, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you have like a lot of unreleased songs in the tuck that you plan on releasing, or is it kind of just like you make a song and then you go, make a song and then you go? How do you go about it?
I think it depends on how I feel about the song. So Needed You, I really strongly, like, I liked it. I was like, I really could see this, like, on the radio. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
I really vibed with it, and it was more me, and, but everything else that I have in the vault is, like, like, I mean, one day maybe I'll release it, but it also, like, it could be better, so I'm just keeping it in the vault, and then maybe one day I'll go back and edit it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's, I think, sometimes with artists, we tend to, be very hasty with, certain songs that we make. Like, oh, I made it today. I got to drop it in a month or else. And then they will do it and they drop a song. It's like, you didn't have to drop that. Just be patient, drop when you feel is right. Drop when it's ready, like there's no rush. And I think it's good you have the strength to hold back on certain tracks, you know what I mean? Because I think that's something, artists should be doing is to, shoot when it's right, you know what I'm saying? Don't just shoot just because you can. Shoot when it's time to. So
yeah, I've heard all different advice about that. Everyone's saying you should do it right away. A lot of people are saying don't do it right away. So it's like,
Well, that's the other thing too, and I will definitely. I've probably been a hypocrite on this podcast to say, oh, it's release as many songs as you can, or release like 1-2 songs a year. I probably said both plenty of times, and listeners are gonna get on my ass on that. But I think
it's better to have more songs in the vault.
Yeah, I've recently I've been that way. Last year I was like, oh no, like, put out a song a month, 2 songs a month, and I was thinking that, but I was this year I was like, I think that that approach you said is right, just having stuff in the tuck and just releasing when it's truly time, and then that way you can put the right promotion and the right marketing on each song. Each song gets its own love. You know what I'm saying? So I think I think
exactly.
I think that's definitely the right way to go about that. In a song like Needing You, Needed You. It's a deep song. Just like Pandemic, it's a deep song. Is it ever difficult to talk about personal things, or does it come easy to you? What would you say?
It comes easy to me. I'm just like open about everything.
Yeah.
So I don't really hide anything. I kind of just put it all out on the music, I don't mind. Like, I'm open with anybody usually, and so that's why when I put it in music, I already know everybody's gonna hear it and know that she's being open about her feelings through her music.
No, definitely, and I think vulnerability is definitely I feel like it's lacking. A lot of stuff just be sounding this, it doesn't feel like people are really, putting the emotion in. That's why those certain songs that do have the emotion in it, like, when you really tell someone put their, soul into something, it be hitting different. You know what I mean? It just does. You just hear the emotion in it. And, it's all subjective with that type, those things. But I definitely think you can tell when someone doesn't have the emotion in it. You know what I mean? They're just singing it. So I think it's good to hear that, that comes easy to you, because I feel like a lot of artists, that's it takes a long time to build up the vulnerability in the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I agree exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think that's dope. That's dope. I want to ask you though. We're coming up a little close to the end of the episode here, so I definitely want to just ask you, just you definitely have a great understanding of just the music game, not just with making music, but the music business in general. So is there any advice you would give to any artists starting out? With some tips that you would give them?
I'd say definitely, if you're making music, definitely write down your feelings, put it into lyrics, and don't hold back, let it all out, and just try to save up as much time and money as you can, so that you can get these songs recorded and done the right way, and make a plan, like a set plan, and just create a process that you can follow, so you're not getting stuck.
That's some real shit right there, y'all. That's like a really simplified way of putting it, but that's great. No, that's great. I really think that's dope, and because I think people are just putting out music. Put a plan to it, market it right, put something to it and, make it something special, especially you're pouring your heart into it. So definitely like that advice, and I think the people definitely take that one. Nessa, thank you very much for being on the TempahZone podcast. I really appreciate this. It's been a long time coming. I'm surprised we haven't done this the podcast sooner, but we finally made it happen.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No, for sure. I appreciate it. No, seriously. Anything you want to plug for the people? Where can they follow you at? What should they find you?
Yeah, that's perfect. So my Instagram is official Nessa Music, and I'll be releasing another song in end of April or beginning of May. So stay tuned.
yes, y'all. Better stay tuned, all right? That's Nessa. Thank you very much for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's episode 98 of the TempahZone podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for another episode, okay? All right. Peace out.